In the immortal words of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're glad you could attend. And we're glad to be back to just kind of give you an update about what's going on, because coming up soon, we are going to have a run. Yep, that's right. But let me tell you about where we've been in the meantime. It has been a long time since we've been running. I'll be upfront with you about that, because almost 11 months ago, two little gorgeous girls came into my life, my twin granddaughters, and so 2.5 days a week I help take care of them while their mom and dad are at work, which is a wonderful thing to do when you're retired. And we have great times together. Unfortunately, that doesn't really leave me any time for running, because as some of you may know, we live about a half an hour away from town. So by the time you drive downtown and you go for a run for an hour and a half, 2 hours, come back, and then you got to shower, change, and come home again, you have burned just a huge chunk of the day. So there has not been enough extra time for running. So I haven't been doing it. What we have been doing is enjoying our granddaughters, and we've been on some cruises since then. Did a wonderful cruise to the Eastern and Western Caribbean on Homeland America. Did a great cruise of Mexican Riviera. Had some great diving. So as far as exercise goes, I gotta kind of stay in shape enough to be a good and effective diver. But we haven't been running. We have a cruise coming up, and it is aboard the Disney Wonder, and that cruise is going to stop at Castaway Cay, which means we're going to be running the Castaway Cay 5K. And the Castaway Cay 5K, when we originally ran it after the, I think that was right after the Walt Disney World Marathon, you just got a silly Mickey ear rubber medal. Now they actually have a Castaway Cay 5K medal, and so we're going to be running that. It may be absolutely and totally cold turkey. It may be that this is the first run in almost a year, that we'll be taking, and it's going to be a 5K, and it's going to be hot, and yeah, oh well, it'll be what it'll be. So we'll be doing that. Yes, this is running related. On a separate note, I will be turning 60 here shortly, the big 60, and for my birthday, my wife gave me straighter teeth. No, not immediately, but she said, go, because I've always wanted, I hate my teeth, so I've always wanted to straighten them. But when I was a kid, I was a trumpet player, and for those of you who may play a brass instrument, you know that it's much more difficult to play a concert-style instrument when you have braces. So that was completely out when I was a kid. When I was around 20 years old, I developed a condition called Bell's palsy, which they mistook initially for a stroke. One side of your face just completely, you lose everything. It's like you've had a stroke. I looked very much like I could have just walked in and played Phantom of the Opera without any makeup at all, because one side of my face just drooped like my face was melting. I got somewhere around 80% of my muscle tone back, but I never got enough back to be able to play horn again. And by that time, I was working in the police department, and I'd already started my law enforcement career, and cops and braces don't really go together. So, yeah, never did it. But always hated my teeth. And so my wife said, you know what? Go ahead and give it a shot if that's what you want to do. So there are companies out there now that are doing things that are completely different from what happened when I was a kid, and that is the at-home aligner market. Most of you may be familiar with something called Invisalign, which is not an at-home kit, and that is an orthodontist or dentist prescribed invisible aligner. Well, in the past year, there has just been an explosion of at-home, we'll do it by mail aligners using the same kind of technology, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, the reason is Invisalign started in 1998, I think it was, and in 2017 their patents began running out. And it was the patents on not only the technology to use plastic trays, whether they be molded or 3D printed in your mouth to move your teeth, but also the software to compute how that happens, and then turning that into a 3D model and turning that into aligners. Well, since the patents ran out, guess what? There's a whole bunch of people who are investors who looked at companies who said, you know, we can do that, and they threw money into it. And right now there's probably 4 of the major companies, and I'm entertaining 3 of them. I already have the results back from Smile Direct Club. I have 2 more companies. Smile Love is one I am waiting for the impression kits for, and they're the best deal so far and have given me the best customer service. And Snap Correct is the other one, and Snap Correct and Smile Love have aligners that are almost exactly the same. So we'll see what happens, but at any rate, hopefully by the time I get back from this cruise and diving and doing all the stuff that we're going to be doing here very shortly, when we head to the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Panama, Colombia, and then the Mexican Riviera coming back. Hopefully I'll have an answer by then. So we'll let you know about that, and we will let you know how that 5K goes on Castaway Cay. We'll even bring a camera along and let you know how that goes. So just kind of keeping you up to date. Right now I am, like I said, not a whole lot of time left. I'm heading over to my daughter's house to go spend a little time with my granddaughters before my wife comes home and she gets frantic about packing for this cruise. So got to do some things. Got to get some things going here, but I am going to be running that 5K. And in order to run that 5K, I'm going to open up that door, put one foot in front of the other. And if you do that same thing, we'll be seeing you out here on the road.